What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I am back again in Mandaluyong, right here in the Philippines, in Metro Manila. I'm gonna be focusing mostly in Boni Street, which is takes you literally in the heart and the core of Mandaluyong. Yesterday I was exploring Shaw Boulevard, and today I'm gonna go probably make it near the City Hall. My first time around here, I'm very curious to explore what's out here. If you're near EDSA, they're developing the area. You can see the high-rise buildings behind me. But then over here is Boni. So Boni Avenue, so I'm gonna make a right and walk straight and see what can I find throughout the way. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of regular streets too for me to detour, maybe I can check out the contrast and everything, but I'm excited to see what's out here, what can I find and what can I showcase you guys. So without further ado, join me. So far here, we're looking pretty good. Streets, pretty nice and well paved, busy in traffic and some nice looking buildings. So here it says Maong, which is the city of Mandaluyong. Like I said, I haven't really explored much of Mandaluyong, just Mega Mall in some areas, so I'm trying to focus more in this region over here. Then we got like a corner store over here, so I can tell it's pretty busy. I'm sure I'm gonna be doing some good cardio today with exercise, because it seems like the street goes up and down, but I'm noticing, like a lot of action over here. And then they got a designated bike lane too, but a lot of cars they be driving in it, But these are slow, these are the bike lanes and the motorbikes that drive in this lane. And that's pretty much popular throughout the EDSA. But yeah, I want to see what's going on. This is just the beginning. So super excited to see how the street changes. Not too far from here, I can see part of Rockwell, which is a district in Makati that I filmed like almost a year ago, pretty nice area. I think I can literally walk from here to Rockwell. But I'm not doing that today. Maybe I'll save that for another video. But ahead of me, I can see it's getting actually, pretty nice. So, and here, probably like a medical center. These apartments look pretty nice here across the street. Pretty dope. But I really love when, neighborhoods are packing action. Doing a little detour around here because I see some pretty interesting things, like nice buildings and some super tall condos. That's kind of bringing me vibes like when I was exploring actually Capitolio. So I'm gonna see if I walk nearby the condos, and then I'll just turn back towards Boni to see what's going on. Here, just regular streets, but you can see the high-rise buildings throughout EDSA. There's also like literally a mall by the MRT station in Boni, so never been there. I always pass by it 1,000 of times, so I'm probably gonna go inside later to check it out. You can see not much going on over this side, but I think if I cross the street, I get a better view of what I want to show you guys. Like the condo, because they're literally private. I cannot pass like inside it, but you can see what's going on here. Super massive, tall buildings like in the middle of this area over here. So, and the spaghetti wires, and we got more over here. So it's pretty nice. Then in my back, I see more new buildings. So I guess it's like mixture, you just got to know where to go. But this will take me to another side, but I want to make it like kind of like in the core and the heart of Mandaluyong, just like I did when I was exploring Quezon City. And here we got business, just a laundromat. This is the private area here, security guarding the building, residential building. And I gotta make it back towards the busy street of Boni Avenue. Like I say, no matter what street you walk around the metro part of Manila, there's always action going on. Metro Manila is literally full of surprises. So, you just gotta know where to go. Don't be afraid to explore around. And, always just be aware of your surroundings, but you're gonna get a good experience, exploring around here. I was looking at the forecast. It says no rain, only like a 30% 2 o'clock, but I see a cloud over there. So I think when it's rainy season like this, one of bicycles always carry an umbrella, because you never know. Even the predictions in social media might not be the best. So look at this street over here. Pretty nice. They got a couple of local barangays around here, so I'm gonna continue, my trek. Then ahead, there's a lot of tricycles and jeepneys. There goes the tricycles. Now I gotta cross the street on the other side. And I don't know if you can catch it, but there's Rockwell, Makati on the other side. You see some nice buildings and like a real estate phone number across the street. So I'm not sure if they're the ones responsible for building this. But it's nice, but like I say, everywhere that you go throughout the metro, they're literally popping up, residential units, condos and everything. And that's what I want to do, you know. I'm a huge fan of massive urban cities. You know, Metro Manila is one of the biggest, you know, metro areas in the whole world with a huge population. So I want to try my best to explore a lot of neighborhoods, not every corner because it'll take me forever, but, you know, explore the most I can besides the touristy area. So here we got more business like a hair salon, laundromat over here. Remind me when I was in Taiwan, Taipei. Oh, they got like a nice looking barber shop here. But I cut my own hair. Like I said before, one thing that has taken me a while for me to adjust is the slow pace. I'm still used to walking super fast. Like I literally pass like a lot of people behind me, you know, because I guess here in the Philippines and a lot of Asian countries, the lifestyle, even if you're in a capital city like this, it's pretty laid back. So that's something that it's really taken me a long time to adjust. But we'll see, you know. I just keep going on with my own flow out here. And we got the delivery driver from Panda. Panda is like a competition with the Grab, man. Look at this. Regular barangay. Actually, I'm doing a lot of detour because I see like some pretty interesting things here, like some action and stuff. Seems like it's a local barangay, but a lot of cool things are happening out here for me to show you. Here, you know, you see business out here. I'm the only foreigner, like always, so. Hello, sir. Then you got houses, so mixture of houses with business, and the condos I was filming, they're in the other side, so just showing you a little bit of what's going on here. A lot of young students here, a lot of just school or college students. This is kind of reminding me when I was walking España Boulevard in São Paulo, in the heart of Manila, which is full of the university like Santo Tomas, so it's kind of bringing me a little bit of that vibe, where they got a nice, you know, street, avenue or boulevard, however you want to call it. Oh, you got some sneaker stores over here. Not sure if they're the real deal or counterfeit, but it's really cool to see what's going on over here. Talking about counterfeit, I'm not gonna lie, I bought a couple of fake products out here, especially in Green Hills, but it's still pretty good quality. Like if I go around, nobody's gonna know it's fake. At the end of the day, I don't care, you know. If it looks good and stuff, I'll wear it. There's nothing to brag about, you know. And we got motorbikes right here, then McDonald's and delivery drivers. We got those in New York City, but for some reason here in the Philippines, I get so excited every time I see a delivery driver, because from time to time, me and my family, we order deliveries to our house. Then Kentucky is going really strong here in the Philippines. And the USA is literally dying, but here, it's a busy intersection right here. So this avenue is called Barranca, which is right off of Boni, and you can see how busy it is. A lot of traffic, you know, people just walking around. And there's also like a couple of strip malls. I think this one, dental clinic. I'm just showing you what's out here besides, you know, the main avenue. That street looks cool, pretty residential. I've got to be careful where I walk in the sidewalks because some of them are not well paved like you get back home in the States. Then we got Korean grocery store. You know, Korean food and Korean community is pretty solid out here in the Philippines. They're literally all over, especially in Angeles City. If you go to Bohol, a lot of Koreans, but they're literally spread out. Cebu City too, a lot of Koreans come here and study English because it's really close and it's actually affordable to study English out here. And here keeps going, fast food chain McDonald's, and the super modern Dunkin' Donuts. Philippines runs some Dunkin', just like the States. And you can see Makati over there at the end. There's a lot of busyness in the other side of the avenue too. But I'm gonna make a right and continue my exploration of this avenue. You know, here we got some nice looking buildings and nice well-paved roads. So just showing you a little bit what's going on right here. And I'm already feeling some raindrops. Thank God I bought this, but it's not too strong. If it gets strong, then I'll just open up my umbrella and walk. But I'm not really too far from where the city hall is. There should be like a circle and I guess a couple of business units for me to check out. And here we got this, wow, kind of like Quezon City, you know, nice streets, nice houses. Like I say, bear with me, you know, I don't really explore much of Mandaluyong, so yesterday I was in Mandaluyong by Shaw Boulevard, now I'm by Boni, but this is really cool, you know, the houses and everything. And look at this building, a purple building, but it's actually really nice. And the gate, they got a lot of details in. Look at this house that's being built, wow. Beautiful, massive white house, like a mansion right here. The thing about this, and another reason that I'm doing this thing is, because I see a lot of views of neighborhoods like this from a drone shot or an airplane. And it doesn't really do justice. It make it seem like it's a slummy area or bad, but if you see right now I'm walking around, it's literally like, you know, a nice looking neighborhood. There's nothing bad or anything. So that's another thing I want to do with this. Just look at these houses here. Wow. They got their gate, and look, the top, the ceiling, everything is beautiful. Like I said, it's reminding me of Quezon City, especially by Tomas Morato Avenue and Timog. I tell you, Metro Manila is literally full of surprises. I'm glad I did a detour here. Not sure where the street's gonna take me, but that's why we have Google Maps. Look, condo units. It's a little far from the MRT station, so. And it keeps going, and you got the tricycles, so. And you can see there's no potholes in the streets. So pretty well done street. And here we got more nicer, this is all like apartment units all together. But they look really cool, wow. The street is actually called Malaya, so it's a block from Boni Avenue, but you can see how beautiful it is. And it would take me literally near where the city hall is. See some tall buildings ahead of me, so really excited to see what the circle and the city hall area looks like, you know, because I've never been around here. You can see there's a tall, I'm not sure if it's a residential unit. We'll find out when we approach it nearby, and then some nice looking houses out here. While it's still doing like the politician thing over here, but I think that's done already. You still see the signs out here. Look at this unit, pretty nice. I like it, wow. Seems like they're doing a lot of touch-up to keep the units over here looking nice and beautiful. And what I like is that they have their own parking, so you don't gotta worry about doing street parking out here. I think in the next block, I'm gonna head back into Boni. And the sensation of the temperature today is 102 Fahrenheit, which that's roughly like 38 Celsius, maybe 39, so hot and humid, but not like extremely during the April season. And here we got some townhomes, Malaya townhomes. Wow, they got pretty nice. I like the windows that they got. But what is here? Is that a garage? Seems like they got their own private parking, so that's nice. That's good to know. Yes, Mandaluyong has shocked me, you know, because most of the times I just pass it by EDSA, but walking deep inside Mandaluyong is awesome. One of my friends told me that I should check it out, so I'm glad that I made it out here. Because so far I like what I see. To take me back towards Boni, that's where they got the high residential unit. And I can see there's a lot of action happening once I exit to the main street. So we're gonna go check out to see what's going on around here in Mandaluyong. Here we are back again in Boni. Pretty busy out here. You can hear the sounds of beautiful Manila. Funny because you don't really see much people walking, but you see bicycles, tricycles, motorbikes. And I heard here in the Philippines, people love taking like the tricycles and other modes of transportation just to get around, even if it's not really a further distance. But it could be also the weather, the heat, you know, it's extreme. Woo! Hear that? I love hearing, you know, the action of a city. I don't know, this makes it feel like alive. Here we got more going on. Then here should be like a condo, I guess. But I know around the city hall there should be a lot of cool things to see. Then we got Santo Rosario over here. This is Boni Tower. So I'm gonna assume maybe it's some condos. But then I think that building over there, the blue one, I think that's the city hall. Here we got Chowking. Chowking is pretty good, wow. That's the bad thing about the jeepneys. They drop all that smoke out, so you saw that female covering her nose, you know. So another thing about Southeast Asia, not just here in Manila, other neighboring countries, it's the smog. So I had to go to the doctor, you know, to get checked for my eyes because they were itching pretty bad. Even though I get those seasonal eye itches in New York, but over here it was itching pretty bad too. So I went to the doctor, very cheap to get a checkup, and she did pretty good. So she prescribed me some medication and some eye drops. And so far, you know, I'm handling it pretty well, pretty good. I like the surrounding area. I'm gonna walk around where the city hall is, walk around and just turn back towards Boni and walk back near where the MRT is. But let's see what's happening around here. Got Metro Bank. I don't know if you can hear me clearly because it's super noisy out here. Got On Dogs, Body Walk, Dunkin' Donuts out here, so a lot of cool things to see. But it's pretty strange to see a city hall like in the center. Well, it kind of reminds me of Philadelphia. The city hall in Philadelphia is also like in a, not in the regular street, like in the center, then all the streets, they merge around the city hall district. And here we got restaurants, Red Ribbon, Mitsu's Turks, mostly food options, then a modern Dunkin' Donuts. Here you can see how this keeps going around. Must be horrible to park out here. But people manage it. At the end is Makati on the other side. I can see the skyline. And it's literally going around the City Hall area. So far, Mandaluyong is pretty cool, and it's literally packed with action and a lot to see. But I'm pretty sure there's many other neighborhoods that I could explore here in Mandaluyong. So I'm glad that I came here to see, you know, what's happening. And there's a sign ahead of me that says Makati City and Pasay City. You know, Pasay literally near the airport area. And they got another barber shop right here. That's cool. Yeah, once you go around the City Hall area that's behind me, Boni Avenue keeps going. Keeps going onto where the river is. I think it's the Pasig River. And then Santa Mesa is in the other side. So you see all the action happening. But now, I'm just gonna turn back and walk around the other side and continue my trek. See what else can I find out here. This is called Maisilo, City of Mandaluyong. So then a busy intersection, but it got the pedestrian area, so I just gotta be careful crossing it. Another Korean barbecue joint, unlimited, 599 pesos. It's actually not bad. 599, 600 pesos, roughly like 10, maybe $11. In the States, never will be at least 25 and up. That's not bad, you know, you get unlimited, eat all you can eat in a Korean food joint, which is actually really good. It's more around here, and it goes around, you know, in circles. And ahead of me at the end, I don't know how clear my camera captures it, but you see the skyscrapers of Makati. Even the City Hall, you can see it from right here. So that's actually really cool. We're literally in the borderline of Makati, which is literally right behind me. So a different municipality in the metro part of Manila. And I'm back again in Boni Avenue. You see it from another angle, the street, how it looks like. And the jeepney right next to me. But yeah, pretty busy right there in the downtown district. There's always action. I've been to other cities that are futuristic and stuff, but it lacks like character, you know. Like you rarely see crowds or anything. So I get bored easily, but in Manila, I never get bored. There's always like action, there's always something going on. And the friendliness of the people is the reason that this Southeast Asian country is different from other countries out here. Lots of jeepneys, look at this one. There it goes. And the condos all the way. I can see even Ortigas from right here. Here I'm literally like in between two central business districts with this Ortigas and then Makati on the other side. So, but a really cool neighborhood out here. You know, I like it so far. It's like how cool the buildings look like. See how clean? The streets are clean. The nice building, you know. It's like literally like a downtown on its own. A couple of businesses out here. So yeah. And then it keeps going, and you see the skyscrapers ahead of me in Ortigas. Ortigas, you know, is Pasig. But if you walk around the Mega Mall area, that's part of Mandaluyong. So literally like a central business district and two municipalities out here. Now, it was easy for me to go down towards where the City Hall is. Now my interest coming back up. It's literally up a hill. But that's okay, it's not like really a steep hill, you know. That's what you gotta do when you want to explore other areas. You got like a heavy traffic jam over here. Luckily I'm walking it, so I don't gotta be stuck in the traffic. But the bus driver looking at me and the people in here. So yeah. Let's see, where are they going to? Mandaluyong Transport Service. They got a lot of these mini buses that takes you throughout other regions of Metro Manila. With the way our traffic is going, I wouldn't be surprised if I beat this traffic on that bus. Well, maybe not. There's just a signal light over here that's literally holding up this entire traffic. You can see next to me all the jeepneys and buses waiting. Wow. That's one of the things, you know, like I say, Manila has some of the top 10 worst traffic jams in the whole world. But you get used to it, you know, I drove through it. Here's the other side of it. You see the beautiful buildings in the back, and the traffic just keeps going. Sometimes people, you know, you got to be careful not inhaling like the smoke from the jeepneys. There's also some really old trucks, you know, so you got to be careful with it. That's why sometimes a lot of people, even before 2020, they wear like masks to protect them, you know, from air quality and stuff like that. So now the traffic is moving because the light changed green. So I guess the bus is going to defeat me. I'm not going to defeat them, even if I'm walking. All right, it is what it is, but look at the view over here, pretty interesting. I got to tell you, like me blogging, or anybody want to come out here and blog, be careful, not just, you know, like the surroundings, but be careful like with the roads, because if you don't pay attention, some of the sidewalks, they're not well paved, and you can fall down deep in something else. So here ahead of me is busy. I see the jeepneys dropping people off and picking people up. So you see a lot of movement out here, people walking. Ahead of me, you see some high-rise condos in the other side of that side. They got a couple of malls over there. So maybe I'll stroll around where the high-rise buildings is just to see what it looks like. And then I'll just call it a day for today. I'll wrap up the video, you know. I had a blast over here exploring Mandaluyong. Over there, you can see all the condos that's being built up. So a lot of developments going on, especially throughout the EDSA highway. There's another contrast. Nice, beautiful houses in the corner, and then tall condos right there ahead of me. Man, hopefully this takes me to EDSA. Imagine me having to turn back in this brutal heat. But it's all good. They got this nice building here to my right that is really cool. Over here I'm crossing an overpassage, and I want to show you the traffic jam over here. EDSA, you can see BGC over there. Guadalupe is ahead. And the MRT passes right here. But now let me see if I can explore a little bit of this area over here where they got the tall condos. There's a few call centers over here too, so wow, the traffic is even nastier over here. So look at the traffic. But if you come like in Good Friday, empty. But this is what you get. Here I am walking in the other side of that sign. They're developing a lot of condos over here, one to my left and one to the right. And then they got other buildings mixed with call centers. I mean, there's a couple of businesses. This street will take me straight to Capitolio, where I filmed almost like a year ago. But yeah, let's see what's happening over this side, and then we just end the video. You can see they're doing some dragging underneath and building. And they got more here. Then this is another high-rise building over here that's being built. Super tall, these units. But I'm sure the view is gonna be amazing if you live up in one of those buildings. You probably can see my coffee from the other side. There's even a coffee joint over here. They got a pickup coffee kiosk. I guess it serves the people who work in call centers. And then at the end where you see that building, that's actually Capitolio right there. This is what you get, you know, nothing crazy, just a little bit of what Mandaluyong has to offer. This is the other angle, what they're building. It's gonna be like another central business district out here. And I mean, this is where all the call centers are. Like I say, a lot of these places, they work late at night because they deal with people back in the West doing their hours. So if you come at nighttime, you'll see a lot of movement out here. Also happens a lot in Cubao. One thing I'm noticing, a lot of foreigners living around here. That's cool. So I guess they live in these condo units. Maybe they work around here remote or something. But that's good to know, you know, there's a lot of foreigners spread throughout the entire Metro Manila. But I think I already seen enough today for Mandaluyong. So I'm gonna start wrapping up my video over here. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all. And peace.